Hello everyone, it's me here, Incline710, and here we are with the Master Collection. It's a week later, last week the game was released, and I have been playing them quite a lot. Already made plenty of progress. I've beaten the game, this first one on hard and very hard, unlocked all the costumes. I haven't beaten Master Ninja Mode yet, but I will make videos on Master Ninja Mode because everyone knows Master Ninja Mode is super fun. And I'm also going to do a supercut of a hero run, which is the easiest game mode in the difficulty. As for the second game, I've beaten the second game once and done a few of those, and I'm like over halfway on the third game. But going from these first two masterpieces to this third game, it's kind of sad. And I can only play it for so long. If you couldn't tell from that speech there, I clearly dislike the third game. I don't think it is at all as good as the first two. I think it's got a really good story and it has potential. The karma system they have in the game is really good. But before we get to the third game, let's start with this first game, Sigma, how it compares to the other ones. While I schmoove on some guys in the background. Ow. So I think this game feels really good. I also like how they added enchantments. I can put on all this cool stuff, like Azure Dragon helmet, right? Decreased defense, greatly increased attack. And they even added this costume, the Grip of Murder costume. Was not in the game before. I'm getting destroyed. I like all these additions. It's really cool. Even the menu is a bit different than Sigma was earlier. It feels great. It feels just as good as I remember. I feel like the graphics are a bit better. You know, all that good stuff. I guess I don't really have too much to say aside from I think they do a great job honoring the first what the game was originally. I think they feel great. I've enjoyed playing them a lot. I've been combo womboed a few times, and I'll even show some clips of me just destroying some boss fights and why I think they are the easiest boss fights in the game. Remember that tentacle guy I was talking about? Yeah, there are clips of me just destroying him. And it's hilarious. But, yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say for this first game. I'm really loving it. And I could switch to the second game, but I just want to keep playing until I die. So let's move on to the second game, which I think is objectively better than the first. The combat feels a lot better. It's a lot more fluent. There's a lot more action happening. The story, I think, is a bit better. And objectively, it's the best of the trio. The one thing I would have to really just gripe on is the upgrading weapon system. You can only, so how it works in that game. So what I say here is really confusing. I don't think I really ever get to the point. But what I was saying is that the upgrading system in Sigma 2 is really bad. It's free, but you can only upgrade one weapon at a certain Muramasa shop. And that left me with like 300,000 yellow essence by the end of the game. And that should not be happening. That's all I really had to say. That's the only really bad thing. And aside from that, it's also not as open world as a first game, you know? But that's about it. Back to Pastre. Yeah, it's still my second favorite, and in my opinion, the best of the three. Aside from the fact that you can only upgrade one weapon at a singular blue thing, I don't have really anything really bad to say about it. Aside from that, that feature that they removed from the original Ninja Gaiden 2 is kind of sad. And aside from that, still great. Still love playing it. I loved playing as the side characters, Ayane and stuff. Glad they added that in. I think that's all for the second game. As for the third, I think what I should do is talk about its greatness before I move on to its clear flaws. So to start things off, I think the karma system they made, where, you know, this karma that we're seeing in the top left screen under the health bar, you would use that to buy upgrades and techniques and scrolls and stuff. I think that's genius. I think that is great. I love that. And the whole steel on bone thing is pretty cool too. You know, trying to add realism, I think it's alright. And, you know, it's all great. The story is pretty cool in that one. Now, I haven't beaten the game, and it's been ages since I've seen it. But basically, this group of people try to revive this dead god, or whatever. This guy takes his niece and makes her the vessel of this god. They end up reviving it. Oh my gosh. No, wait, do I have any heals whatsoever? Haha, funny number. Alright, I'll continue this in the second game. Alright, so here we are in mission mode. So yeah, basic premise of the story, give a brief summary of what I was trying to say. These guys, this group of people, try to create this perfect god, and it's our job to kill it. And we fight terrorists as well, but I don't think that's as important. Oh, there she is. And yeah, that's pretty much everything good about the third game. Now, what's bad about the third game? Oh boy. So to start things off, they make it so that enemies can block and dodge you almost all the time. There is this boss fight in the sixth chapter, I think, 6th day, whatever, where you're fighting a fiend Ryu, or like an evil clone of yourself, and it felt like that evil clone was hitting more combos than I did. Which, I get it's a boss fight, right? But against normal enemies, like, oh man, lasting damage and stuff, right? Which wouldn't be too bad, you know? It wouldn't be too bad if they didn't make it so you had no way to heal yourself aside from meditation. And you meditate, when you meditate, you leave yourself vulnerable. Meaning you can't do it in the middle of a boss fight unless there's some really wide open, unless they leave themselves really wide open. I might have gone to all of them. I don't have a script or anything like that. This is all coming off of my current thoughts off the time, at the time I'm recording this and playing this game. But, yeah, my perfect game would have, oh yeah, I guess I did forget about, I guess there was some stuff I could have said more about the other games. So, first game, it was, oh, she's getting mowed down, yeah. So the first game, super, like, open world, right? You could visit, I think, like, almost every chapter in the game. Aside from, like, the first chapter, third chapter, and then the 11th chapter. But in this game, it's super linear. There's a certain way you're going, right? And they basically bring you to locations, which isn't too bad. And it's the same in the third game as well, which makes sense. Those are missions. I'm not too upset about that, right? The first game is more about us reclaiming a weapon that was taken from the village, while the second game and the third game are more about we have to kill this god. So it makes sense that we'd be traveling pretty much the entire world. So yeah, in my opinion, the perfect game would, or like a game that I wouldn't mind seeing in this series, like if they were to ever make a fourth, it would have the same open world type that the first had. It would have the combat system of the second and third. No, just the second. It'd have the steel on bones in the third. That was actually pretty cool. I didn't mind that. But they'd have like the same type of enemies and stuff from this one. And then they'd also keep the karma thing in from the third. But they'd have the store from the first game, as well as the scarabs and the rewards you got from them. Like having those scarabs and the rewards, really, I don't know, just getting the Dark Dragon Blade from collecting all 50 just felt really cool and rewarding, you know. It'd have the open worldness of the first, have the combat of the second, as well as Steel on Bone and the karma thing from that. But it'd also have the Muramasa shop from the first. I think if they kept all that stuff in, they'd have a really good game on their hands, honestly. But yeah, the armlets and enchantments are only for the Sigma, which I don't really understand why they didn't keep it in. You know, it's extra stuff to work towards, right? Getting those enchantments for beating certain levels of the game. All you really get for beating the game modes or the new difficulties are really just like skins and stuff. And yeah, I guess that's my overall thoughts on the game. On the games as a whole. They're all really great. You know, I enjoyed the third more than I thought I was going to. The only problem is that I beat the first and second game on hard mode without much trouble, like, at all. Like, I had, like, 300,000 essence in this game, like, at all times. There wasn't a single moment where I didn't have, like, full health and full HP items and stuff. And it was pretty much the same in the first game. I reached the 99,999 cap really fast by chapter 12 when you get to the essence farming. Oh great, finish this. We're not going to the third game. I don't want to play the third game right now. And the third game, yeah, I did enjoy it. But to continue what I was saying, I'm playing that on normal mode and I have died several times. Now to what I might be dying from, you might be asking. Because I have no way to heal myself. I'm going from boss fight to boss fight with absolutely zero health items. And the only way to heal myself is to use Ninpo, right? All I have to do is just hit an enemy with Ninpo. Can't exactly do that in a boss fight when they block or dodge the Ninpo. And even if it did hit them, I would get like no health from it. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts of the games. I'm enjoying all of them. Like, I'm enjoying the first two a lot. I'm enjoying the third more than I ever expected to, honestly. And I remember the third being painful, but I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Thanks for coming by. If you're looking for a good solo game, definitely pick this one up. I love it. And I will see you guys next video.